Hello, everyone. So the book that I've chosen to review for you for this poetry week is called If by Rudyard Kipling. This is a picture of him that I just pulled up to show you. We probably most of us recognize his name because he's the writer of the Jungle Books. He wrote many other books and poems as well, but this seems to be his most well-known. The Jungle Book seems to be his most well-known one, at least today. And he was a controversial writer at times. I think he did dabble in some social and political commentary. And he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1907, making him the first English language writer to receive the prize, and he was its youngest recipient. To date, he was 41 years old. He won other awards and honors for his writing as well. But the thing that I liked best learning about him is how he spent a lot of his life writing and gathering stories for children. A quote from my research about him says, "He's regarded as a major innovator in the art of the short story. His children's books are classics of children's literature, and one critic described his work as exhibiting a versatile and luminous narrative quality." So he was born in India, and memories of his brief life there stayed with him his whole life and really affected him and his writing. He went through this period of time where he was treated very poorly and neglected, unbeknownst to his parents, while he was staying with some relatives for an extended time. These experiences seemed to be something that also stayed with him, and it seems to be part of why he did have his mind turned to children and their life experiences as he wrote for them in his adult life. Another quote from my research says he especially enjoyed writing the Jungle Books, both masterpieces of imaginative writing, and enjoyed, too, corresponding with the many children who wrote to him about them. I loved that. I loved hearing that he wrote letters back and forth with the kids who liked his books. It's just really cool because I've heard his name throughout my life, but I grow so much in respect for people who do pay attention to children, especially prominent people in history or things like that. I feel so much more respect for them. So there's a lot more to his life and career, but I wanted to focus on his interest in writing things for children. So the poem, If, was written with his own 12-year-old son in mind. In the introduction of this version of the book, I want to read just one little bit of it to you to give you some background. In 1899, Rudyard and Carrie Kipling lost their eldest daughter, then 6, to a sudden illness. Their family circle forever changed. The Kiplings became even more tightly knit, and the two younger children were perhaps more cherished than ever. Elsie and John grew up with a father who doted on them, who read to them, who answered ceaseless questions, who indulged their imaginations. Yet he also expected great things of them. So I wanted to read an excerpt from it to you and show you some of the pictures to give you the feel of the poem. If you can keep your head when all about you, Hannah, when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make an allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good or talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet triumph with disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. And then I'll skip ahead so as not to read the whole thing to you. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Sadly, a few short years after this poem was written, this son that it was written for died in battle in World War I. So that makes it even more special, I think, to him personally and his family, and to its readers as well, especially its parent readers. It's still a popular one today, and I did find it particularly inspiring, especially thinking about my own hopes and dreams for my children and how I want to raise them. he put into words the sentiments of a lot of parents around the world, I think. And I loved, I hope you saw some of in the illustrations how it kind of combines like these hopes and dreams of parents with just pure innocence of childhood and the simplicity and beauty of what we can learn from children. And so it's just a beautiful, beautiful book, a beautiful poem. I love that they put it into this book form. It shows the imaginations of children, and it's a great book to read to my children as well. And yeah, like I said, I grew in respect for Rudyard Kipling, and it is one that I would buy in hardcover to have in our home. Thank you.